Hello guys, welcome to this new video. So before starting this video, I want to ask you a question that which is the most important piece in chess? Definitely the piece which comes in your mind is queen. So if you have already seen the thumbnail of this video, then you must have come to know the topic of today's video. Today I am going to share with you guys a cool way to fool your opponent. Because your opponent usually expect you that you try to checkmate him, right? But instead we are gonna hunt his queen, which gives you a more than enough advantage later in the game. So today we are going to learn 11 different types of traps to grab your opponent's queen. These steps will definitely help you in rapid or blitz game. You can catch your rival queen either by taking the king away from it, which is the only piece defending her, or by trapping his queen into any trap. So without wasting the time, let's start the video. Let's see the first trap for black, which comes under Black-Burne Shilling Gambit. It starts with e4, e5, knight to f3, knight to c6, then bishop to c4 to gain control over f7 square. Now black will play an insane move which is knight to d4. White will take this free pawn and will move his knight to f7 square in the further moves. So black will take out his queen into the action, attacking the knight and pawn at the same time. White will obviously play the expected move, which is knight to f7, because black can't take the knight, and white is also attacking both queen and rook. Here white played a blunder move which will result to sacrifice his queen. Let's see how. Black will take the pawn at g2. Now white knows that black will take his rook in the next move and he will lose the game. So he will definitely move his rook to defend it. But he did not realize that black can also play queen to e4, giving check to king. White has to block this attack. Now if he uses bishop, then he will lose the game because black will play knight to f3 and checkmate. So he has to sacrifice his queen, blocking the attack. Now knight will take, then bishop recapture, and now black has a great advantage. Now let's go for the second trap for black, which comes under Englund Gambit, where white starts with d4, then e5, offering white a free pawn. The reason behind this move of black is to remove all the pawns which are front of both queens, so that black can easily capture his opponent queen later in the game, and black bishop is also ready to attack all this diagonal square. White will definitely grab this free pawn. Black will take out his bishop into action. White will move his knight to f3 to defend this pawn. Then black will again offer him a free pawn. The reason is same as previous, to remove all the pawns which are front of queen. White will again capture it. Now the only task of black is to remove this white pawn from front of both queens so that he can attack the white queen. So he will offer his knight. Now if white still did not understand black's plan, then he will happily capture this black knight. Now black will play his bishop to f2, giving check to king. White can't move his king to this d2 square. He has only option to take the bishop and his queen became undefended. Black will definitely take the advantage of opportunity and will grab the white queen. Let's move to the third trap for black, which comes under Albin-Counter Gambit. It starts with queen's pawn opening, which is d4, d5, c4 and e5. Now white can't take the d5 pawn because queen will recapture it. So he will grab this e5 pawn, and he is also attacking the d5 pawn with his two pieces. Now instead of taking the white pawn, black will push his pawn forward. Because of this pawn, white can't develop his knight. So he will play e3 and again he is attacking this pawn with two pieces. Black can't move this pawn because white will take his queen and his king will not be able to castle later in the game. So he will play bishop to b4, giving check to king. White blocked this attack with his bishop. Now black will take this pawn and he is attacking the bishop and pawn at the same time. White will definitely take this undefended bishop. Then pawn will take f2 and check to king. Now if king takes this pawn, then black will takes the queen. So white will play king to e2. You should notice here that white king is at the same diagonal line with his queen. and you can take his queen by moving your bishop to g4 square. But the only difficulty here is that if black move his bishop attacking the king, then white will block the attack with his knight. So first you have to take the knight. You should also keep in mind that you should promote your pawn to knight, not the queen. Because if you promote your pawn to any piece except knight, then first white will take your queen and then your promoted piece. So the promoted knight will give check to king and white has to take this first. Then black will play bishop to g4 and white will definitely lose the game. Let's learn the next step for black, which comes under Falkbeer Gambit. It starts with e4, e5, f4 and d5. White will take the pawn, black again offer him a free pawn and white will again grab it. Black will recapture it with his knight. White will play knight to f3, attacking the pawn and also controlling the square where queen can move. Black will push his pawn forward, attacking the knight. White will play knight to e5, attacking black knight. Black will play bishop to c5. White will play bishop to b5, pinning black knight, and also two pieces of white are attacking this black knight. Now instead of saving this knight, black will play knight to f6, which is a part of the trap. White will definitely take this free knight, then pawn takes and bishop will recapture the pawn and check to king. So white has to move his bishop to d7, blocking the attack. White will again grab the rook happily, without realizing that in the next move he will lose his queen. Black play bishop to g4, attacking the white queen. White can't take the bishop because it is defended by knight, and also he can't block this attack because he did not have any piece available, so at last white has to sacrifice his queen. Let's learn the next step for black, which comes under Fajarowicz Gambit. It starts with d4, knight to f6, c4 and e5. White will definitely take this free pawn and is also attacking the knight. Now knight moves to e4. White will play knight to f3 to develop his knight. Black will play b6 to open this diagonal square for his bishop. White will move his queen to d5, attacking two black pieces at the same time. Black will sacrifice his bishop, which is a part of the trap. After queen takes, black will develop his knight, and the idea here is to put this queen into the cage. Now white will definitely try to escape his queen from this area. So he will move his queen to a6. Now if black develops another knight, then white queen will move to this safe square. So first black has to play bishop to b4 and check to king. White will block the attack with his bishop. Now black will develop another knight, attacking the queen. Now you can see that black pieces are controlling all the squares in the area except one where white will move his queen, which is b5. Now before playing pawn to a6, first black take the bishop, because if he did not do this, then he will lose his two major pieces. So knight will recapture the bishop. Now black will play pawn to a6, attacking the white queen. White queen did not have any safe square available here. So at last white has to sacrifice his queen. Now let's move to the next step for black, which comes under Budapest Gambit, which start with d4, knight to f6, c4 and e5. This opening is same as the previous step. Here white will take this free pawn, attacking the knight. Knight move to e4. This time white will not develop his knight. Instead he will play pawn to a3 to prevent black to develop his bishop and giving check. Black will again offer a free pawn and white will definitely take it. The reason behind this move from black is to remove all the pieces which are front of both queens. Black will take this pawn with his bishop and black is ready to give check to king. Now white will develop his knight. Black will play knight to f2, attacking two pieces of white. If white still did not understand the black's plan, then he will definitely take this free knight. Then bishop gives check to king. Now no matter with which piece white takes this bishop, black will definitely take the queen. Let's learn the next step for white, which comes under Blackmar Diemer Gambit. It starts with d4, d5, e4, offering a free pawn. Black takes the pawn. White develop his knight, attacking this pawn. Black also develop his knight, defending this pawn. White again offer a free pawn to black and he again capture it. Then white takes the pawn with queen. Here this white pawn is undefended. So black take this pawn. White moves his bishop attacking the queen. And now white bishop is also ready to give check to king. Black moves his queen to b4 square attacking this undefended pawn. So white will castle, and now you can see that the white rook is also attacking this main line. Black play bishop to g4 attacking the queen, and if queen moves then he will take the rook. Now instead of saving the queen, white will play an excellent move which is knight to b5. Now if black takes the queen, then he will lose the game, because white will play knight to c7 giving check to king, and king will not have any safe square to move. If black play his queen to anywhere, then white will attack this pawn. So black has to take the knight and bishop will recapture the queen and check to king. Black has to block the check, and in the next move white will save his queen. Let's move to the next step for white, which comes under Smith-Morra Gambit, which start with e4, c5, d4, offering black a free pawn. Black will take this pawn, white will again offer a free pawn. Black will again grab this free pawn. White will take this pawn with his knight. Then black will develop his knight. White will also develop his another knight. Black will play d6. Now bishop comes into action and is ready to give check to black king. Black will develop his another knight. White will push his pawn forward attacking this knight, and also to remove this pawn from front of queen. But black will take this pawn with his knight. So white will take this knight to remove the pawn from front of queen. Black will take this knight with his pawn. Now you can see that there is no piece in front of both queen. Now white will give check to king with his bishop. Black has to take this bishop and his queen become undefended. So white will grab this opportunity and will capture black queen. Let's learn the next step for white, which comes under Tennison Gambit. White starts with knight to f3. Now black can't play e5 because knight will take it. So he will play d5. Now if white want to take black's queen, then he has to remove all the pieces which are front of both queens. So he will play e4, offering black a free pawn. Black will capture it, and now he is also attacking this knight. White will move his knight to g5, attacking the pawn. There is high chances that black develop his knight and also defending his pawn. White will again offer him a free pawn. Black will again grab it. White will capture this pawn with his bishop. Now both the pieces of white are attacking the h7 square. So black will play pawn to h6 attacking the knight. White will play an insane move which is knight to f7 attacking two pieces of white at the same time. Black will take this free knight without realizing that it is a trap, and black queen is also undefended. Now bishop gives check to king. Black have to take this bishop, and in the next move he will lose his queen. Let's move to the next step for white, which comes under Hector Gambit. It starts with knight to c3, d5, then e4, offering black a free pawn. Black will take this pawn. Now instead of taking back this pawn with the knight, white will develop his bishop to give check to black king. Black is most likely to play knight to f6, defending his pawn. White again offer a free pawn to black to remove all the pieces from front of both queens. Black will again grab this pawn. Now white have two options to remove this pawn from here. He can either offer his knight or he can develop his any piece, so that in the next move black will take the pawn at c2. After that, bishop will give check to king. Black has to take this bishop, and in the next move he will lose his queen. Now let's learn the last step of today's video for white, which comes under Scandinavian Defense. White start with e4, then black play d5, offering a pawn so that he can develop his queen. White takes the pawn, and black will again capture it with his queen. White develop his knight attacking the queen. Black move his queen to a5. White develop his another knight. Black play bishop to g4, pinning this white knight. White play h3, attacking the bishop. Black takes the knight. Queen recaptures the bishop. And now queen is attacking this pawn, and after that this rook. So black blocked this attack by playing knight to c6. White play bishop to b5, pinning this black knight. It is clearly seen that the two pieces of white are attacking this knight. So black will play queen to b6. Now white will play knight to d5, again attacking the queen. Now if queen takes the bishop, then white will move knight to c7, check to king, and black has lost the queen. So let's see from here again. If black play again queen to a5, then white will play b4, attacking the queen. Now queen did not have any safe square available to move, and at last black has to sacrifice his queen. And here comes the puzzle of this video. So just pause the video, think about it, and let me know your answers in the comment box. So these were the different types of traps to hunt your rival queen. I hope you liked the video. If you, then hit the like button and please subscribe the channel for more such videos on chess. See you next time.